Good morning, everybody, and welcome into another episode of the PM and AM show. It is your boy Pat Bernard, alongside with my guy Mike Lauer. What's up, Mike?
What is up with that home run hat? There's the sombrero.
The home run sombrero.
Making its debut here, I see on.
See,
Someone's happy this morning.
yes, in all the right places. I am going full commando, Mike.
I don't need to know that, Pat. Look, we have the imaginary line, right? Coffee.
Oh,
Yeah, not yet.
see,
Not yet.
I think we should get EOP like
mugs made.
tumblers made.
Yes. We
So
should.
and all the tumbler they're not ready for the. This line is the
Pat line. The Pat line.
The Pat line. Anything under or over is not acceptable.
yes, everything you take in will come right on out.
Oh
God.
my God, this is going to be a long hour.
But anyway, guys,
Nothing that ever girl said about me ever.
Right.
Well, listen, yesterday, our Philadelphia Phillies stopped the nose bleeding. Just when all is lost, they've come back and battled their way into the win column. Now, I'm excited for a couple things. One, I owe it to the Phillies fans for me going out, on social media and calling this team out for what it was. And look, having 5 losses under your belt and seeing some things that have been playing out, whether it's been the inconsistency, base running, the fielding, the starting pitching always putting you into a hole. The batting that all of a sudden has evaporated. I would for sure this team was going to be fried. And with the Washington Nationals right on your doorstep, I felt like this team was plummeting into the basement. But no, they are not. They are not. This Phillies team has turned it around just a little bit. JT Realmuto coming into the series 0-12, but he eventually comes back. He answers back, going with a homer, with a double, a game that JT Realmuto needed. The weight has been lifted off his shoulders, and thank God he comes up big. Bryce Harper comes up big with a single and a double. Mike, what do you take from this Phillies team? Like I said, I know it's been tough and rough and tough to watch this past week, but a win can hopefully turn this roller coaster of a season from going down. Maybe they can start trending back up the hill.
I don't know, man. I look at it as ebb and flows. Someday I would like to see them take a series from the Mets. Just can we?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this has been going on a little too long now with that against that team. I'm not ready to throw the towel in on the Phillies. I know you kind of went off the edge as usual a couple days back.
See,
yes. I just think they've had a lot going against them. Really, if you look at it from the start of the season, some of it's self-inflicted. Going into this season not being prepared, having a 5th starter, I think has hurt them. If you look at it, what are they like 2-10 or something like that?
I think they're 1-10 now.
No,
2. Yesterday would have been 2. Yeah.
I mean, so they're 2-10. Like, I think they need to get that shored up a little bit. Now they did sign a veteran to a minor league contract. I saw that yesterday. Why is Pat wearing a hat from the movie Titanic? Because he just likes going down.
I think we should. I think we should make T-shirts and just say "Why, Pat?"
Yeah, that should be. Yeah, that's the new slogan here.
Why, Pat?
Daniel, what's going on? No, but looking at, Philly still sucks. He must be a Mets fan.
No, listen. The Phillies still suck.
They stink
until they can. It's not just about a win. It's about stringing wins together and stringing series wins together because they kind of have a. And here's the thing: is we can sit there and look at the upcoming schedule and go, "That's they should be." No, we're the bad team.
Yeah.
We're the win now on everybody's.
Yeah, and that's my thing is like you have you had all the interdivisional play that you had here this last few series. You go home, you know what I mean? It's like you get a little home cooking now, but the question is it going to be enough? Because you would look at, okay, we're playing the Tigers, right? In Citizens Bank Park. That'll get right.
But I mean, hold on, stop and think about the division though. Like, we're talking about this division. All right, they're gonna finish probably one game under 500 in the division. I mean, that's not bad considering they had to go to Atlanta for 4 and to New York for 3. I mean, that was 7 games. So yeah, they went 2-5 in those games. But again, it's just for some odd reason, I don't know what it is, they just don't play well against the Mets.
And the Mets really didn't play that much better. I mean, they had
No,
guys.
the
who were
Mets
struggling.
stink too. The
Well,
Mets are horrible too.
On that after that game, I'm sitting. I couldn't. It's funny how people say I live and die with this team. Like people do that, but I really do. It's sad.
Yeah,
It is.
because
I get up, we all get up for the Mets series because it's our closest rival. We hate them. They hate us.
I could not sleep.
Me neither. Like
and,
I was just
and
like,
I went in and I started digging some. I tweeted this out. It just came out late after the last Mets loss. The sweep. I said some sobering facts of the Phillies' last 10 Phillies versus Mets matchup. So that's back to last August, the last Mets series, right? The Phillies are 2-8 in the last 10, and they were outscored 22-44. They double what we produced, averaging 2.2 runs a game and only 8 hits per game and only 16 extra base hits in that time frame in 10 games. So that's not even 2 extra base hits a game.
and you got to remember too, Taijuan Walker was a part of their staff too.
Yeah.
So, and listen, I don't feel like he had a bad game. I mean, listen, they got to Scherzer early. The problem is, I feel like they kind of let off. And again, we're talking. Where's Trey Turner?
I mean, well, he had a nice hit
Man,
yesterday.
Who?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I understand. He's being overpaid bond.
No, he's not a bum.
He's overpaid. Yes.
No, he's not overpaid. He got market value, dude. He got market. Like I'm tired of people saying, "Oh, the Phillies spent." Guess what? No matter where Trey Turner was going, he was getting that contract that he got because of his past performances. All I'm saying is, I just want the guy that was in the World Baseball Classic. Where the hell is he at?
Yeah, well, that's a good point.
I mean, I did the post game on Friday. I did Fridays, and I'm sitting there going, the only thing I worry about Trey Turner, he'll get right at one point, but is it going to be like a Nick Castellanos year one situation where it's going to be more up and downs? But unfortunately,
that's been one of the bright spots for the Phillies this year. Has been Nick.
Well, yeah,
I'll be the one to say I'll take my. I've been calling this one since before the playoff run.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me too. I kept
and
saying
look, and a lot of people still complain about Nick Castellanos. Oh, he's not hitting the long ball. We're paying him all this money.
Dude, shut up. He's driving in runs. He's doing what a fourth.
He's third in doubles.
Dude, he's doing what a cleanup batter's supposed to do. Like
he's
Nick Castellanos is not.
He's sixth in hitting.
Yeah, and he's not making a lot of errors I think he's got 2 errors in the field.
I mean, thank God JT finally had a game because he's been terrible up until yesterday.
Everybody kind of if you're looking at it, Harper's cooled off. But then again, you got to give him a mulligan because he's basically, this is spring training. He's basically just getting done spring training for him.
I mean, I really don't consider him MIA. I mean, guys who I can rely on in this lineup are Nick Castellanos. You got Harper,
Stott,
and Bohm.
Yeah,
and
Bohm's out.
And
Bohm's out.
Right, and Bohm's out because of a hamstring injury. So, but I mean, those are guys I can rely on coming up. I mean, the Kyle Schwarbers, I can't, as my man Bill Furman said, he's hard to watch. I mean, it's weird. He's third or fourth in walks and strikeouts. Like, I mean, he gets on base walking. I mean, again, you want to talk about people complaining about Nick Castellanos not hitting the long ball. I mean, are we overlooking him not, getting a hit at period?
Yeah. Jeez. Well, listen, Schwarber's a career 230 hitter. Like, you guys are acting like he's a 300. You're acting like he's a 300 hitter. Dude, he's a streaky hitter.
I never said that. Well, it's not coming out of my camp.
I'm just saying.
I watch other people.
I'm just saying, Klaus Schwarber is what he is. He's a long ball or strikeout kind of guy. He's been that way. He's been that way his whole career. But the good thing is, all right, it's not going it hasn't been going so good. But if you look at his track record over his career, guess what? He does get hot. And when he gets hot for a long period of time. So guess what? That hot streak's going to come. Just how far away is it? You know what I mean? That's all it is with Schwarber. To me, I feel like the biggest problem with this Phillies team is our starting pitching.
Yes, Mike, preach.
Okay.
24th in the league.
I don't listen. Shut up about. I don't want to hear nothing about.
Shut up.
Not you. Relax. I'm saying.
Hey Pat, shut up.
Yeah, hey Pat, shut up.
What do you mean, shut up?
Yeah, do us all a favor. No, but it's
go back to Happy Land.
Yeah, there you go. He's in his happy place.
Yes.
But
I'm going for Orlando.
No, I don't care.
Okay.
It's just anybody, dude. I need holy
He
water.
can't even speak. You
I
got
can't-
you,
Look,
you got
I got a sip out of my coffee.
you
A
got
sip.
like speaking in tongues. He's like, I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to
exactly.
clip that out for like something.
Yeah.
Happen.
That might be no drop. Yeah,
Yeah.
but Noah's not pitching where he should be pitching. Zach Wheeler, where's he? Okay.
I agree. I agree.
I'll tell you what, Rangers looking a little bit better. Taiwan Walker, what is he? Well, I don't know what this dude is. 1 minute
Well,
he looks
that's the
good, the
thing is-
next minute he looks. All I heard from Mets fans was, "Hey, you guys got a good one." To me, it looks like the Mets knew what they were doing by letting him walk.
Yeah.
Well, he's a dice roll. Certain times the dice will roll in your favor, and other times, and I mean, Aaron Nola, I think, falls into that too. Like,
Let me ask you a question: trade deadline, you looking to move him?
it depends on where we're at. It really does.
Like, I mean, if we're like where we are now, like I'm looking to move him, man.
So, and that's what, like I said, like I don't know if the Phillies fans, what's up, guy? Fellas are playing with. Look, Sean, please.
Please.
Toronto's taking one game from the Mets so far. Yip-de-doo, Sean. Whip-de-doo.
Well, that's the other
Well,
thing.
no,
That's the other. That's. I mean, he kind of brings up. I don't know if he meant to bring up this point, but he brought up a point. It's like if I always say if we were in the AL East right now, we'd be screwed. We'd probably be out of it.
Oh my gosh.
Like we'd be way out of it. I mean, the Sox are right now the worst team in AL East at 2 games above 500.
Right. And I
that
think they're like
division-
3 points.
Yeah, that division was the best last year in baseball too. So
They're
I
a
mean,
juggernaut.
that whole division, and if you look at it, like I said, Phillies. I mean, they still got 2 with them. They still got 2 with Toronto. They still play.
And
They got Tampa still coming
And
up.
after all the losing and getting swept by the Mets, we're only 8 games out of first place.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Anything
that's the kind of weird part about it. Like we're 3.5 games behind the Mets.
and
We're
we just split
4
with the
and a half
Braves.
games behind the Marlins and 8 games behind
The Braves.
So again, this time last year, we moved on from Girardi, and this is when things start to turn around. But I don't know we're going to get the same Cinderella story that we got last year.
no,
Well,
listen.
can
Next year's
Can
team
people just get off the fact that we got to fire somebody to do so?
You're right.
Like,
Yeah.
Can we get back out of like? Listen, I love our fans. I love
Judge the
Phillies
talent.
fans. I love.
Can we fire? Yeah, if let's fire the.
I'm gonna
let's
fire
play.
fans. Let's fire some fans. Like that's how I would have feel like guys. I mean, we forget like before last year we sucked.
And then,
And we sucked for a while.
Yeah, the Phillies were the team known coming up short.
Speaking of Sean, he brings up a good point. The All-Star break is around the corner. Is he the only All-Star on this team?
Who?
Castellanos?
Stott.
Stock could probably make Brandon Marsh.
Think Brandon Marsh can make
I
it?
think so.
Yeah.
Center fielder.
Yeah. Like who in the National League is dominant in center field? Nobody. And March had a pretty decent season so far. And
I mean, here's my thing: is the problem with center field is the guy he played behind.
It's Trout.
Yeah, and people, his name will get him more than anything. But I mean, look at 2023. He's batting at 277. He's got 24 RBIs, 5 home runs, only 2 behind Nick Castellanos in that point.
Yeah,
46 hits. I mean, the man is, and he got an on base percentage of .843. I mean, you can't. When we got him, we were told you got him for his defense.
Right. And look at him now. I don't know, man. Like I said, to me, I feel like the biggest fail has been really, like I said, the starting
pitcher.
start
In the hole.
Yeah, as much people were killing Craig Kimbrell.
He looks good.
He looks really good. He's got 9 wins?
9 wins. He's got 402.
I mean, there you go. There's a guy right there who could be
he's the one that actually improved from when he started to where he's at now.
And then that's another thing too. You also got Alvarado. He should be getting ready to come back soon too. So that bullpen's going to get a lot more help coming in. The thing about it was, I feel like they were too dependent on Painter this year. They were too dependent on him, and when he got hurt, I don't think they had a plan B, and that's what I think is Freddie Burns comes up. Yes,
yeah. Fred, me and Mike always complain about Trey Turner.
They got to move him down.
They did yesterday. He was. I think he was batting 5th yesterday. Castellanos batting 2nd.
Listen, I talked to Fred about this too. We all knew that Schwarber was going to move to the leadoff spot at one point to maybe get his head right. Like how moving him up works, but I guess that's where it is. And it did a little bit so far. He's a little bit more productive since they did that, but it's a very small sample size. But this lineup of Schwarber, Castellanos, Harper. Wait a minute. No, sorry, wrong one. They had what was I just had it. But I mean, it was Schwarber, Stott. I guess Bohm's out, so they didn't have him. Harper, Castellanos, and then they had Turner,
Right.
JT, and Brandon. I would just flip Brandon and JT, or Brandon and Turner. Move Turner down to the 7th spot until he gets
7th,
himself
8th.
right.
You know, where he doesn't feel that much pressure. Like you said, get his head right. That's where he needs to go. Keep Nick Castellanos. Again, you want to get those guys on base. You want to get the, Bryson Stott, Nick Castellanos, the first two guys who get you your punches there. Then you have Bryce Harper. That's the way you want to attack it. And then have JT Realmuto be your cleanup guy. And then you can, like you said, flip flop that bottom half of the order.
Listen, and Freddie has another point here, and he says spot on about Painter, no backup and still no plan. Dombrowski on record ready to wait till August. I don't know if he's ready to wait till August, Fred, but I that's probably kind of just a posturing situation. Like, they're not going to sit there and go, oh, we're going to have to do something, because then people are going to try to bend him over a barrel, and try to get a lot out of him in that situation. So I don't know. I don't think Dombrowski's going to sit on his laurels until August, but yeah, definitely didn't have a plan beforehand. There's definitely no plan for Painter. But guys, what you can plan on is, because these Phillies will get hot again, and you can head out to Chicago and go to famous Wrigley Field and check out these Phillies with PhillySportsTrips.com. If you haven't been to Wrigley Field, it has to be on your bucket list. It has to be. You have to get there. That's at the end of the month, June 28th, July 1st. Don't forget Pittsburgh, July 28th to the 23rd. And don't forget San Diego in September. Beautiful San Diego in September from the 2nd to 6th. That's like probably one of the most perfect times.
Weekend, right?
Yeah, it's probably one of the most perfect times to go out to San Diego. Not that it isn't perfect to go any other time. And don't forget, all the away trips are set for the Eagles. And the first one coming up will be September 8th to the 11th, which will be right after that. So you can go to San Diego and pop on over to New England and check out the Eagles take on the Patriots. And Hollis Thomas will be in house. So check it out.
What a perfect time to get away from the wife. Go right out to San Diego.
Yeah.
Because
kids are back to school.
I'm sure if we were doing like a Mother's Day show, we brought the wives in or something, she'd be like, what a perfect way for me to get away from Pat for a weekend.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. That would be funny. Can you imagine that, P&M in the AM, but just have our wives sitting here?
We talked about that.
Oh my God. Can you imagine? Like I think our people that view us would actually literally tune in to watch to see what our wives would have to say about each other, especially about us. Like Jamie would have a field day.
Yeah. I think this would be a roast. No other.
It would be.
But you know what, guys? I think both you guys here owe me an apology.
Friends, says, great show, fellas, except for that Al dude. Tell him to let the experts, Pat and Mike, talk.
It's always great. Leave it to Freddie to break my stone.
Yeah. Freddie's great, man. Yeah, I love watching his I watch a lot of his stuff when he does with the Sixers.
With Dives, too.
Yeah, with
Dives.
Yeah.
Him, Dives, and Sean.
Oh my God. They are really you guys, especially with the Sixers, man. So speaking of, we'll get into that, I would imagine. But no, Pat, I think you're right, though. I mean, this is where, Charlie Manning used to say June was hitting season.
Yeah.
And, I think this team's I think it's going to get out of its funk. I think it's going to right itself. I'm just worried about the starting pitching. Like, Wheeler hasn't looked himself.
And that's where right itself. Like, that's what you need to do. And a little consistency. Like, that's it. Like a game like that we saw from Wheeler, three runs, 3 innings against the Nats.
And you know what, though? Like, one thing I did learn about this Mets series, it's like we have too much talent on this lineup. And it's when the pitching staff puts you in this hole, you can't expect the pitching staff to constantly, get you out there, put the ladder down so they can rope you in.
Yeah, I mean, listen, look, that Mets series, they didn't hit. I'm sorry, and I'm not giving the Mets, I don't give the Mets no credit whatsoever. Like, to me, they are a beatable team.
right.
They're beatable.
Mark
Like,
Callahan, what's his name? Mark Callahan is the only guy who stepped up
Yeah.
to beat up the Phillies. I mean, back
Wait,
home
who?
runs, a double.
What was it? Mark
Mark
Callow?
Callow?
Khan.
Mark Hahn.
Ken.
Ken?
K-H-A-N. or
But you know who I meant.
Yeah, it's
Canna.
spelled. Yeah,
He-
it's spelled
Canna.
Con.
The
Okay,
guy who
yeah.
tattooed the Phillies.
Yeah,
over-
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he's the only one. I'm sorry. Like to me,
the polar bear didn't show up. You know what I mean? Brandon Nemo didn't show. You know what I mean?
Who's the pole bear?
The polar bear.
Oh, the polar bear. I thought you
Polar
said
bear.
I thought you said the
I
pole
was
bear.
like,
Oh, yeah.
If he walked out, I mean, first of all, he's dead. But if he walked out with an
Yeah, that'd be
error
kind of.
in the middle of the game, I'd be like, all right, I'll take this loss.
But anyway, their whole meat of their lineup didn't show up. I mean, again, so they're not really technically not too much better than us.
Mike is. Mike's got a point. Mike does have a point.
Listen,
but
Rob's had some head scratchers.
he has. But you know what? I think he's trying to make chicken salad out of chicken. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He knows they're not going good right now. But I mean, a lot of people want like I've heard some ridiculous things this week about they need to fire him. No, you can't fire a manager every year. Like sooner or later, like managers are going to go through.
You know,
You can question it. You can turn on the stove a little bit.
No.
You can't turn on a stove.
you
Like
don't
leave
think
that
he
shit
knows that his job is in jeopardy if they keep trending down? Anybody's
But-
job's in
but-
jeopardy if it's
And
trending.
this is going to lead me into the next team
Well,
around here.
Well, hold on one second.
Yeah. Let
You
it out.
can't-
Whip it
Number
out.
one, you can't go around firing managers like that because who's going to want to come here?
No, but yeah, you're
Right,
not gonna,
right.
No
And
good
second of
manager.
all-
They're gonna be like, oh, as soon as I'm losing, I'm out.
He's only been interim manager for a year. He wasn't a full manager until October 2nd. So that means you'd be firing this man in less than a year.
Yeah, but Al, and I understand what you're saying. Let me play devil's advocate with you. But since you want to the end, since you want to the World Series, don't you hold him at a little bit high of an expectations every year now?
No, because that team caught fire at the right time. This is a totally different team from a year ago.
we got to stop looking at it like
You
that.
got,
too.
this is the problem right there.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you're doing, that is the problem. Well, this time last year, this isn't last year. This is this year. Totally different year. When the season started this year, okay, it's a brand new year.
And-
There's guys on this team that weren't on this team. a
Yeah,
year
and I
ago.
get
our
'em.
bench, our bench is better this year than it was a year ago.
Right.
But guess what? We're still next to last
Somebody
place.
said to me,
Right,
on
and
one of
then but so there's an issue, right? I mean, you kind of upgraded from on paper from what you were last year.
Wow.
somebody said to me on one of the post game shows, "Oh, this is where we're missing Maton and Veerling." I'm like,
Well, I won't go
guys,
that
come on.
far.
I'm like,
Um,
listen,
they're not doing nothing with Detroit. Matter of
well,
fact,
Veerling's hurt. Veerling's on the IL right now, but I mean, my point
Maton ain't doing
because he's coming to town
So
next week. Him and Maton are getting their rings next week.
yeah, no.
But Veerling's not going to be in time to. He's still going to be on the IL. He won't even be playing. My point is, you think Matt Veerling and Nick Maton would make a difference right now?
No.
well, let me go based off of. I listened to the Pass and Fanatic guys yesterday, and I was listening to Brian Flynn again, and he brought up a point. Do you think that the presence of Reese Hoskins not in the clubhouse is hurting him? That's just a locker room kind of a leader.
I can't believe Reese Hoskins would make or break this team right now. I mean,
Reese Hoskins
listen,
would be struggling right now.
Is
Not
Reese
just
Hos-
struggle, but just being
But-
in presence, just being that go-getter.
listen, we've heard that a lot from people. Like Reese Hoskins would be kind of like the therapist to the team. Like in
Yeah,
some
the
ways.
Dr. Phil.
Like he would sit down and talk people out of stuff and help them with their baseball field issues. But
Right?
why is he in the locker room right now? If that's what he's there to do,
I'm pretty sure he'd love to be around the locker room
I
if
don't
he's not already there. Like
yeah, I don't.
people act like he's not there. Like he's been at games. So
Right now, we'd be cursing. He'd be like
we've been cursing at him
him
because
and-
he's going over
him and
10.
Kyle Schwarber. He'd be just taking the heat off Kyle Schwarber right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Let's
I
be
love
honest.
I love it. Like he was Philadelphia's kicking. He was kicking dog last year, whipping boy, whatever you want to put it,
Yeah.
until the postseason. Like we killed him all year long. Now all of a sudden, he was here. Come on, dude. Like this is our fan base. This is why we get looked at side-eyed because they make stupid remarks like this. Like him being here, no, we would just be. It would be like, oh, now we got him and Schwarber both going for whatever. You know what I mean? So no.
Well, one good thing is, look, yesterday the Phillies take care of McKenzie Gore, who is 12th in the league, actually in strikeouts for your Washington Nationals, and the Phillies actually got the best of him. But today it's going to be Trent Williams taking on Ranger Suarez for your Philadelphia
Wait.
Phillies.
Trent Williams is he? is he giving up the football?
Trevor Williams.
I was going to say
Trevor Williams. I'm sorry, I got the name.
It's no, I'm just saying, is Trent Williams coming around of football for a little while?
Hey, listen.
Yeah, like I'm going to start pitching for the Nationals when I'm in, in off season.
So hopefully, the Phillies can get a back-to-back dub. Do you guys see the Phillies win today?
I do.
I mean, if Ranger was what we saw from Ranger versus the Mets, I mean, that was the other thing that really ticked me off with that loss is like you get Ranger finally like a good game,
right?
A couple games. Like, he's on his fourth game. He finally gets he puts up a great pitching, and you can't get 3 runs across the plate.
That's right. And like I said, that's
against a guy who was struggling. And can we stop? Can the announcer stop saying it? Well, this is a guy that has really been struggling lately. Could be good for this lineup. And then every time they do, it's a Sandy Koufax over here. Like I'm like, come on, man.
Well, I mean,
all the time.
Stop doing it. But I
don't know.
I mean, the guy he's a 3.93 ERA. I mean, you can't look at Rangers ERA right now because it's 7.13, and you're like, okay, well, right now that's not in our favor. But it's hard to say because his first he had a couple where he got shellacked. You know what I mean? I want to get him a dub. I want to get Ranger a W in his win column. That's what I want.
Right.
And you know what? Now a couple things happen. One win today could change the narrative of what the last 2 weeks have been.
Correct.
You get 2 wins in a row. You win. Think about this. In the 3 series against your division rivals, you lost a series, you tied a series, and you win a series if you win today.
Right, and like I said, maybe that could get some, something going positively as far like me and Mike have alluded to, like with the starting pitching staff, like it's got to turn around. They got to stop putting you in a hole. There's games where it's 0-3, 0-4 to the opposition. Like I can't take it anymore. I can't. Like
I actually can't take the fact when they're you got Aaron Nola up there and you're sitting there going, "That's what I like. That's the Aaron Nola I know." And then the 4th inning comes, and then that's the Aaron Nola I know. Like that's what I'm saying. Like
yes.
I'm tired of.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you get. I never seen some guy who could bring it hot and cold through every inning. I feel
like I dated him before.
Right, it hurt.
Wow.
Here goes Sean Kilrain. The 22 Phillies were 2 games under 500 through many years, many games. To the World Series.
All right. Yeah, look, this is what we're talking about, Sean. And listen, I get it. You have to look at something.
You got to look at something positive to draw on.
Or a comparison. Like I get it. The 2021 Braves, like when the Braves won the World Series,
they were hot. Guess what?
They were bad.
Who was the team that was
the Nationals? The Nationals.
Well, that was in 19. No, but there was somebody in 20. What was it? The Rays. The Rays were the same thing.
Well, that was because I was that weird.
Yeah, that was the whole bubble. Yeah,
but I mean that's the other thing. The Phillies had every chance to go to the playoffs in that 60-game bubble thing. That's when the Dodgers won, right? Yeah, the Dodgers won the World Series.
And like we can't rely on every year going to be a Cinderella story. Like we're going to climb out of this magical hole that we're always putting ourselves in. Like at some point, I would like to sit at the top of the division. I like to, have a nice ride. Now, like I said, does it really mean anything come, postseason playoff time? I don't know, but like I said, Mike. You and I are on the same boat for once. The starting pitching has to turn around at some point. It's just they can't put you in a hole every single game. It's got to turn. And hopefully, today it could be a difference maker with Ranger Suarez. If he could play like he did last week, I'm hoping things can turn around just a little bit, and the offense could be there. Hopefully, the offense can start playing like they did yesterday and start making some, just making some good.
Mike brings up a good point here. He said Dombrowski wasted money on Walker, who has 2 double-digit wins in his career to $75 million. Yeah, but I think I'm not ready to sell yet on Walker coming here only because of the pitching coach. I feel like they've, what's the Phillies long, right?
The batting coach?
No, the pitching coach.
Why am I?
I'm drawing a blank on him. But anyway, he's pretty decent, and they feel that pretty decent. He's one of the more respected guys in baseball, and I think they felt like if they signed Walker here, he could help him. That's why I'm guys on their first year with the Phillies. Like I said, I'm not ready to throw the towel in on that.
Oh, Kaufman.
Yeah,
that's right.
So, like I said, he's
first name.
Yeah. So I'm not ready to throw even with Turner. Like I'm not ready to throw the towel in on him. Like I said, we went through the whole thing last year with Castellanos and everybody was bagging him, wanting him to be traded. And I kept telling you guys, wait, it's just a bad year. Mike wants to fire Dombrowski and Thompson. Mike, listen, do me a favor.
I love Mike.
Mike,
I do like Mike.
Mike, do me a
Mike's one of my
favor.
favorite
Put me
people.
down right
Yes.
now on who you want to replace Thompson and Dombrowski with. Because if you're going to say that, then tell me who you're going to replace them with. That's all I need to know.
Mike, this is the best thing you've said so far. And not against anything else you said. I get the anger. Because right now,
He
you
is
should
angry.
be angry, Mike. You should be
Oh, his
angry.
ass is red.
I mean, I
I don't know, maybe his face, but I don't know about his,
yeah.
I don't know about his behind there.
Yeah.
That-
But
Oh, I know
oh.
a guy's ass when they're red.
Oh, the average.
But-
Dude, I feel bad for him because he lives in upstate New York, Mike. So he's probably surrounded by Mets and Yankees fans.
He's
around
probably
him.
getting ears full.
Yeah. So I mean, I can see why he's more chapped than I think than all of
Oh.
us, as Pat would say, because like I said, he's in Theo Epstein. Yeah, but Theo don't want to come out. He don't want to be a part of baseball no more. He's had plenty of opportunities to.
and he was
again,
in the conversation
Yeah, he was in the conversation to come here. He
when,
didn't want to.
when Dombrowski,
Yeah.
the whole 9 yards with them. I mean, listen, I'm glad guys like Mike are angry in the sense that
Yes, bring the heat. That's what I want to hear.
But what Mike said before was two things that were more than firing Dombrowski or firing Thompson. Is this team needs energy because, like I just said, the Mets, the most they scored on us was 4.
Right.
4 runs.
They-
Considering how, I mean, Ranger really pitched well in that series.
Right. The whole series, they only got 10 runs.
Yeah, but we couldn't muster up more than what
Right.
3
Right.
or 4, whatever it was.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's the problem. Like, I mean, you got literally one of the best batting lineups on paper. I mean, if I told somebody like, "Hey, I got Harper in my lineup, I got Nick Castellanos in my lineup, you got Kyle Schwarber in your lineup, you got JT Realmuto in our lineup,"
Right.
you'd be like, "All right, that's
Trey Turner, yeah.
Trey Turner." You'd be like, yeah, that's a good lineup right there." But
Right.
they just need to start hitting again, and I'm hoping what we saw yesterday is the start of something getting JT out of a funk because my kid will tell you I have so many 4-letter words that night the other night when I'm sitting there. It was that they come back, they're down 7-1. They come back and tie the game up 7-7.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
That
I'm
was
sitting there, I'm
heartbreaking.
like, here's JT. I'm like, all right, JT, it's tied game 7-7 late in this game. You have the opportunity here to put a run across and make it 8-7 Phillies. That'd be great. I'm like, I believe in you, JT. You're due. And he swings and misses like the most noodled arm swing I've ever seen. And I'm like, mother, just
Right. There was a
my kids like slink out of the room like he's not happy.
No, but I mean, you again, like you were just alluded to, Al. I mean, this offense. I mean, if you look on paper, it's top heavy. It's nice, like you say. You got Castellanos, who's hitting. He's 6th overall in hitting. He's 3rd overall in doubles, sitting behind Freddie Freeman and Mike Champion from Toronto. So you got Nick Castellanos hitting very well. You got, like I said, 3rd in doubles. You have Brandon Marsh, who's tied in 1st in triples. I mean, really, this team has a nice offense to it. It's just the one gray area on the tie part is the starting pitching because your 2 studs who you rely on are very inconsistent, and then after that, it's a crapshoot.
But hold on one second. I can't put it all on the starting pitching. It is right now the problem.
No, yeah, the
Absolutely.
The major,
But go like real quick, little exercise here for you. Gonna roll back to the Mets series. All right.
Okay.
I mean, in that Mets series, let's see, again, Senga was the first one I did with the ghost forkball or whatever the heck they call it. You got 0 runs. You only gave up 2. Ranger Suarez pitched a hell of a game. Can't complain about that. Nola, not the greatest game, but they still kept it a 4-run game. You can only muster up 1 run. And then the last game, same thing. Walker with the bullpen only gave up 4 runs, and you could only muster up 2.
All right, and they jumped out to a 2-0 lead, and that was on Scherzer. So again, yeah, this Phillies team, like that Mets series, they didn't hit.
no.
But like that Brave series, to kick
They
this thing
split.
off, they split. But if you're looking at it realistically, the Phillies should have taken 3 out of 4. That first game, that first Nola game in that series, he was bad. The Phillies should have took 3 out of 4 from Atlanta in Atlanta. I mean, the only game really that the Phillies were outplayed in was that Sunday night game. That was
oh, well,
it.
that was is it
Strider.
Is it was that Strider? I thought it was
Strider.
Covey.
No, it was Strider.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That's
No, that was Covey.
Yeah,
Covey.
Britton Covey. Yeah, but
Covey. Is it
yeah, but
Covey
he,
or Covey? Somebody tell me.
Covey.
Okay,
Covey.
well, I'll tell you what. If Dylan Covey never puts on the Phillies,
Well,
his
you can't say
uniform-
nothing because he went out and pitched yesterday and he did a pretty decent job.
No, he gave up.
No,
2
he
runs.
got spanked yesterday.
He was the one who tied the game in
He's-
2 innings.
Yeah, he was the quote unquote. What was that? No, it's not closer. It's the opener. He was the opener.
No, he
You
wasn't.
know, he
No,
was middle.
no. Britton Covey gave up 2 runs yesterday that tied that game yesterday.
Yeah, he got waffled yesterday. He
Hold
got
on.
waffled
Hold
on.
on. I'll go back. I'll tell you right now. I'll give you the. I'll give you the.
Send him
box
to
score.
the
I had
Academy
the
Running
lines.
Shark.
I had the lines up here.
That's the National. Here you go.
Yeah.
Strom started. He
Oh,
went.
Strom. That's who I was thinking of. Not
Oh,
Covey.
yeah.
Strom.
Strom
He was the
a-
opener. He was
Yeah.
the,
Covey
that's
let
what
up
was-
4 hits on 2 runs. The best part about it is like
yeah, he got the win.
yeah, he got the win.
yesterday.
He got the win because they were tied. He didn't. If he gave them the lead, he wouldn't have got the win. It would have been on Marte, Junior
Wow.
Marte.
I like him. I like him. I think
That's one of the good things. If you're looking for something solid to look
The
at,
bullpen.
it's like I think you said it earlier, Mike. It's like this team. I mean, you're missing Alvarado. That's looking good. Sir Anthony is better.
Craig Kimball.
Craig he is 4 for 4 or now 5 for 5 on saves. He had a-
Soto another
Yeah,
had.
He
couple
turned
games,
around from the beginning of the season. Like
So-
I was questioning, we were all questioning about his age and all this other stuff.
Oh,
He's
dude,
come
I did a
on.
whole piece on is he cooked already? I jumped the gun on that. I'll be honest.
And he
with
came
you.
around. He's been a huge
That's- I
part of
was-
their
that's
addition to the
Let me ask you
W.
a question. Do you think maybe they should stretch out Strom and just make him the 5th starter?
I don't know. I mean, he won 4 innings before. I don't know why we're holding him to 2.
Yeah, like
I
to
don't
be
know.
honest with you, I think they should just stretch him out and just be like, look, dude, you're going to be our 5th starter.
Because
I mean-
why not try it?
I mean, because he's had some good games. I mean, granted, he's gotten lit up too, but he's had more. I don't know. He's more. I guess you could say. I mean, he also, he's also had game. He got lit up, but he's also had starts where he struck out 10 too. Earlier this year he struck out
I didn't
10.
even know this
Yeah.
was. I just saw something that popped up here when I was looking at Steven Strasburg. Right? I didn't even know he was still pitching. First of all, and they said he's still sidelined. He's in the 60-day DL because of severe nerve damage. He's thoracic outlet syndrome. That's what they thought. Not Ben Simmons. Markel Fultz had. I think it was Markel Fultz.
Really?
I think that's what they thought he had, and that's a miserable, painful thing, by the way. But that guy, I don't know. I just felt bad. He could have had a career.
Yeah, when I first saw
Injuries
him
just set
about
him back.
12 years ago when he came on board, 2010, I thought he was going to be,
The
Well,
next
they
thing.
had
The
him
next
as
thing.
like the big thing. Like he was supposed to be the pitcher in baseball at one point.
Yeah, and then he just.
yeah, it sucks because his injuries got the best of.
Well, I guess today, we got we got to put our faith into Ranger to have another good game because if they can do that and string hits like that's just it's my theme to every post game show so far has been consistency. So
Yes.
they can put up a bunch of runs yesterday. They put up 7 runs even though they lost before that. Okay, put up 4+ run. You put +4 runs up now. Do it. Do it again because that's what this team was built to do to begin with. It was supposed to bash its way out of problems. It wasn't supposed to be in the starting pitching, but the starting pitching becomes a glaring problem. And yeah, like you think Zach Wheeler's not getting mentally beat down about it, but you know what? I don't know. It's just,
Well, like I said, you brought up a good point too, Al. Like if we could get the Rainer Suarez that we got last week, and maybe the rust is starting to come off the guy, and maybe he's getting back to his old form. If we get that Rainer Suarez today, that would be a nice icing on the cake. And of course, I think your offense will be there for you. You just need your starting pitching to be able to do their side of the deal. You know what I mean? They got to be able to locate their pitching, stay on command of their of their game, not let things get side eye and get out of whack early. So, but if
Elijah just said, "I'm here."
Uh,
Elijah.
Yeah.
Why don't you let them in? Why? I'm gonna actually real quick, guys.
Yeah.
Listen, I honestly think, and I'm still in Mike's boat. Like this team can turn it around, and coming home against a team like the Tigers could hopefully do some good home cooking. And then it's good time to get some tickets. June, I go to Sherry's Tickets, bud. I know you go there. Me and you are on that website a lot. You catch us on there a lot, and
Looking at some concert tickets, man.
yeah, it's concert season, theater, there's a lot of theater going on. Father's Day's coming up. Great Father's Day
Hint,
presents on
hint.
there.
Father's Day. Let's go.
Yep. So check it out. Go to sherrystickets.com. No hidden fees. That's what I love about it. Even before we get to the next best part about it, is that the hidden fees aren't there. You're not gonna get walloped. You're not gonna get bamboozled. So what you see on the screen is what you're gonna get. And then you get additional 10% off by going to using that promo code EOP10. Again, that promo code is EOP10.
All right. Well, listen. When like I said, we're really dissecting this Phillies team and what they are.
You
And
can only dissect so much, though, man. It's kind of like being in algebra.
yes,
Or not,
When
I'm
you're-
sorry, biology. When you're in biology and you got the long worm
Yes,
right there, and
yes.
you're trying to decide.
Oh, you just said long worm in front of Pack. That was a worst
Oh.
idea.
I was a softball. I threw it
Yeah.
out.
yes.
You said softballs in front of Pack.
Ah,
I mean, you're really just
you really.
Just waiting for the tongue to roll out the
Yeah.
mouth there.
It's something else is
he'll be
going out.
speaking in tongues by the end of this.
Yeah, something else is going on. But look, guys, I look at what's going on in the sports world. I look at this Florida Panthers team. I look at this Miami Heat team, even though they're down 1-0 in each of the series. But last year I felt like that was us. We were doing, we were riding it, in some glory days. We had 4 Philadelphia teams go into the promised land and come up short. We had the Stars, we had the Union, we had the Phillies, we had the Eagles, and now all of a sudden, I don't know if you guys work in a spot where you have to keep inventory, but I feel like it all goes back to the Eagles and where I feel good about. Like I don't feel good about. I don't have trust. We broke down this Phillies team, but I don't have trust on the other 3 teams, other except for the Eagles. So the other 2, I should say. Um, the Flyers, they've been telling me rebuild since for the last 10 years, and I still going to give, again, another new direction of see where this team goes. I'm going to give it, their leap of faith and see what Keith Jones and what Danny Briere is going to turn around. I'm waiting on that. But this Sixers team, I have no trust in. You bring in Nick Nurse, great, hurrah! He's a guy who likes to yell at his players. Problem is, you still got your problem of James Harden and Embiid, who came up short, and everyone's just somehow now just overlooking that. Or some, I shouldn't say everybody. Some people are still kind of like over at and looking like we're going to get a brand new coach in here. Guess what? If Nick Nurse is going to yell at his players, guess what's going to happen? They're going to turn off his message within a year or 2. So bringing Nick Nurse is going to do no guys, nothing. This is now the 3rd head coach under Embiid, and here we are, 2nd round. So Mike, you're a guy, your day job, you have to keep inventory. So what do you see as far as these organizations? Because like right now, I can only trust Howie. I can only trust Howie right now.
I mean,
Right. If you look at the 4-4 Philly sports landscape, who do you trust? Who do you trust? I don't trust the Sixers. I don't trust the Flyers. The Phillies. I still, this is their year, so I can't really depend on them. But it's not looking too good. I mean, the Eagles. I mean, right now, you know how many people you've probably seen all over social media. When's the Eagles?
Okay,
Give me to the Eagles.
You're taking stock. I mean, yeah, the Phillies ain't playing well right now. I understand your frustration there. Flyers, yeah, me and you've both been frustrated with what they've been doing. But I mean, I think we're kind of on opposite side. Well, we were kind of agreeing about what the new regime. I'm going to give them. They're on their way back. I think because
who the Sixers.
The Sixers, to me, I don't. Bringing in Nurse, I think, is a good idea because I'm
I
sorry.
like Nurse.
I'm sorry because I feel like somebody needs to stick their foot in Joel's ass and get him motivated because that dude doesn't play motivated half the time.
Well, my thing with Nurse is the one thing we've always worried about, besides sticking your foot in Embiid's ass and all that stuff. Like, I'm not. Yeah, he's going to yell and scream. He holds people accountable. That's great, and wonderful. But the one thing I look at is you have. We talk about it, and I think at this point it's becoming a necessary evil. if we want to win with Joel Embiid, and we're all going to have to get off it, is his load management. I think that was the biggest problem. Yeah, he was injured. Yeah, it was, but gas. I think he was out of gas. And look how they won in Toronto with the whole quadruple going. It was Kawhi Leonard being managed loadly. Like calm down. My point is like it is that maybe the linchpin here?
No, I don't. I don't because and you bring up Harden. Harden's gone. Like
I don't think so.
I do.
I don't know.
Did you hear? Come on, did you hear Nurse's comments when he talked about Harden? Dude, he don't want him here. And besides, they can. I think if they do sign him, it's going to be a sign and trade.
Okay, that would
Okay.
probably be the most acceptable thing because if you just let him go, you only have. And they were talking.
It's like 12 million.
Joe and Fred explained.
It's like $12 million or
it's
something like that.
12, 13, because the way the cap works, it's NBA cap is the most ridiculous cap.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, you're not going to have a lot. It's not like, oh well, we're going to save $40 million. We can bring in another superstar. You don't know. You can't.
But here's the thing: like I would do a sign and trade. And I like the fact that Grant Fleet, the guy Fred VanVleet,
yeah,
he showed interest. But one of the rumors is that is for that sign and trade is for Siakam to come here.
Mm-hmm.
He's a part of that deal. It's Siakam and VanVleet coming to the Sixers, but it has to have something to do with Chris Paul's got to be a part of the trade to make it work. I was reading that on Twitter. And it was like a 4 or 5. It was like a 5 or 16 deal.
Right.
The way it would work out. Like Harden would end up going back to Houston. Houston would send some players and money somewhere else. And like Chris Paul would have to go somewhere else. And then the Sixers would end up with Siakam and VanVleet, which I feel like that would be awesome. Because if you put Siakam next to Embiid right now with Maxey and VanVleet, I think the Sixers would be they would go right back up because now you got a guy who's a wing player because that's what Embiid needs. He needs an athletic wing, and that's what Siakam brings to the table. You get a guy like Pascal Siakam here.
Who's in this trade?
It's Harris and Harden. Harris and Harden are leaving the Sixers. They're going
So it's a 3-way trade?
No, it's like a 16 trade. It's like 60. It was nuts, dude, when I saw it. But it's possible, and it would make sense. But the whole thing, the whole key to this trade, if it were to go down, is Chris Paul. He's got to agree to it.
Well, look, Mike, what you just said, that's a lot of work for him
Like,
to get on the wheel.
Listen, it is, but just there is a way for the Sixers to get better. And you come to think about it, now you're getting two of Nick Nurse's guys that he had in Toronto that won a championship that are coming here to help Maxey and Embiid.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now the Sixers go from really having
I'm seeing something a little different, but it's kind of what you're talking about here.
Yeah, it's like
this is a 3-team trade. I'm seeing, but it's just Siakam. It doesn't have VanVleet involved in it. Hold on one second. So it's Raptors get Harris and McDaniels, Jalen McDaniels, 2029 first round pick from Philly, 2024 second round pick, New York via Philly, and then 2027 second round pick from Philly. And they get let's see, Siakam. Oh, and VanVleet. Never mind. They have both. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's the 3-team. No, you should see. If I can find a 16 one to you, I'll send it to you because it was nuts. There was moving parts everywhere.
Oh.
So there were moving parts, draft picks, players, but it all hinged on Chris Paul, like agreeing. It was nuts. It was all. I can't remember where I did. It was on Twitter. I remember reading it, and it was just nuts. Joe Sullivan checking in, saying Siakam would be great. I agree with Joe there, most definitely.
Right.
But and they just got to surround him with shooters, just straight up snipers.
That's what they need. They need that. Like, and I'm sorry. Like, I feel like Nurse is going to do something that Doc didn't do, which is hold his players accountable. You know.
Well, here's the thing: is this is the other plus to it. You came from Brett Brown to Doc, both who were known as players, coaches, managers, whatever. You got a guy who's different, so you had to go different, right?
Right. But I mean, like I said, if he's going to be that kind of caliber coach where he's going to be hard on the players, I just see them just tuning him out, and I'm all for the Nick Nurse. He's got a resume. He's got a championship under his belt. I like that, but I mean, to me, I can't, and like I said, I'm all for the move, but like I'm gonna steal a line from Mike. I feel like it's a band-aid on a broken leg. Like
No, it's not.
I
No,
think I
it's
think you
not.
need to move
It's
on that.
not.
I'm gonna take another one from you. I think you need to move on from Embiid to solve your problems. I'm sorry. I know I wasn't. I thought I looked at you side eye when you said this back in February, back in the winter.
Listen, but I made that.
I'm in that canoe.
Yeah, but
I'm
I
in there.
made that statement, Pat, because you could see coming down the pike what was going to happen, and it was only because of the way it was matching up. Like you could see that, they were going to get past the first round. The second round matchup, they were either getting Milwaukee or Boston, and you knew that. I would felt more comfortable.
We all swallowed hard on that one. Like, gulp. You're like,
Yeah, 'cause you
calm
knew-
down, Pat.
See, right away, you got to talk
Isn't
about
it-
swallowing and meat
Yeah,
going down. There you
yeah.
go. Pat's already got the meat sweats.
Well, Joe says he'd rather have Van Vliet or
Then
versus-
Harden too. So do I. Because
But
Van
hold on.
Vliet,
But let me ask this question, Joe, and I'll ask this to everybody. Like, is it more because we've seen Harden and he's hurt us? We're all still hurt about it, or do you honestly think Van Vliet would be a better option? Because you can't have both.
I'd go Van Vliet.
I would go Van Vliet too, because Van Vliet's a player. Like Harden, again, yeah.
Oh, Muffler Mike checking into the program. Difference here is
Mike's saying something here this is the part that scares me, and he brought up a key name, Maxey. I feel if they're going to make any big moves, he might have to be someone on that shopping block.
No. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying
I know.
him. I'm just saying.
Right.
What other like unless you're somebody who's willing to take a later first round pick? Because
Like, listen, I've had Pat on the trade block for this show for like 6 months. I ain't got no offers yet.
Yeah, well, that's the problem.
Oh,
What was the line from Semi Pro? I wish you were your washing machine still.
Yeah.
But I can't give up Maxey. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not giving up Maxey.
That's Park Place. I'm sorry. He's untouchable.
That's my thing. Is he untouchable?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because like I said, if you're taking a first round pick from the Sixers, you definitely want to take something 4 or 5 years down the line when they're going to suck again.
Right.
Because you're not going to take one now where they make to the playoffs and you get a late first round pick. In the NBA, they ain't worth jack.
Right.
You know
But
what I mean?
and again, like Harden, he's shown me what he is. Again, a nice regular season player. Again, great. He led the league in assists.
Is he really a great regular season player? Because to me, that dude is a seesaw. He's up and down.
Right.
Up and down. Like, I'm good, man. Like, I'd rather take somebody. One, Van Vliet's younger. And I feel like he can shoot the ball just as well as Harden did.
Right.
He's a threat from the outside. And like I said, you're getting an athletic wing that you can pair with Joel Embiid.
Right.
Like, to me, this makes a whole lot of sense. And they played for Nick Nurse, and they want to play for Nick Nurse.
Right. But like I said, with my comparison with Harden was, I just feel like he's a good regular season player. He led the league and facilitate, assists. But guess what? Playoff time, when the water's starting to rise in the room.
Dude, listen, look at how Harden look how Harden really got noticed. He was a sixth man. Like, he couldn't even crack the starting lineup when KD and Westbrook were in Oklahoma City. He was a sixth man. That's how Harden became known. And then he got hot for 1 year, and then Durant left. Right. And he was there with Westbrook. When he was there with Westbrook, he got hot for 1 year, and that was it. And then Houston signed him to all this money.
And those two couldn't get along.
Yeah.
These are two that's Matter and Andy Matter. They're ready to
Russell Westbrook, I don't feel like he can get along with anybody. Like, that dude's been bouncing around.
He came out like during the playoffs, and some fan was mocking, like some guy, like the seats on the right there on the court. He was mocking him the whole time, and he like went and found him after the game.
Yeah, he went to like a private suite.
Yeah,
and was like, like
I
look. But you ever notice though? Like, these basketball players, they got a lot of heart and everything. You don't see them do that here in Philly.
No.
You don't see them do that here. Like, they know what fan bases they can go talk trash to. Because
this one is a little tougher.
Yeah. I mean, the best was, I don't know if it was somebody from the EOP banner, but I don't know if it was Joey or maybe Freddie, but CJ Gardner-Johnson, and was like, he quoted something about like, yeah, you guys better watch what you're saying or whatever, or you would never say to my face or my agent's face. And the very first one was somebody from EOP, and they was like, he's like, "Yo, buddy, you don't know what fan base you're
I
dealing
think that
with."
was
No.
Joe.
Like I said, I don't know who it was, but Harden had a great year. But we need to remember that no matter what, they need to turn Harden into something. Can't have him leave for nothing. Only have 12 million to replace him.
Yeah. And that's kind of where he has us. And listen, I think the thing is, I think the Sixers would, if he accepts 2 years, would sign him in a heartbeat. Honestly, it's just he's holding out. There's only one team dumb enough out there to give him a 4-year contract,
That's Houston.
and I don't even think they're dumb enough to do it.
Yeah.
Nobody else wants him for 4 years. Nobody goes, "I'm a 4-year contract away from an Adrian Harden from an NBA championship."
You're right. I mean, really, if Houston's looking just to rebuild and for just to sell tickets, I guess that's the way you wanted to go. Because like I said, I've heard that rumor back in the winter about him possibly going back to Houston and all that stuff. But look, it is what it is. We need again. Let's get back to the inventory again. We now dish out the Sixers and
Well, real quick before we get into the inventory,
oh.
I got to get into David R. Cherry, 610-565-0300, cherryinjurylaw.com, workers' comp, motor vehicle, personal injury, criminal law, because some of the things we've talked about have been just straight criminal. He will take care of you. He will fight for you, and he will defend you better than James Harden. Check him out at 610-565-0300, cherryinjurylaw.com. All right, where we going now?
All right. Well, look, like I said, we've done the Phillies. We've scouted out the Sixers and what their needs and how can they possibly turn around their season from next year. How can they get better than a second round knockout? So, but yeah, let's like I said, there's 2 other teams, Mike. We need to break down. So again, you and I are on the same boat with the Flyers. We don't know what their direction is, honestly, and we've heard the conversation. I've heard this too on the Wednesday night panel, believe it or not, with Al, Joey, and Freddie talking about, will Danny Briere deal Carter Hart? Do you think that's the right move?
With the emergence of Harrison,
Yeah, Sam Harrison.
with the emergence of him, it does make Carter Hart expendable. It really does. And
I think the fact that this team knows that they're not going anywhere,
And just get everything you can.
by the time Carter Hart gets to that spot, he might not be worth
Right.
it to us as much.
right. So
And like you said, I mean, they do have some options. We don't know how good they are, but if somebody's willing to pay a good price for Hart, you gotta
yeah,
listen.
yeah, listen, Edmonton offered a nice haul a year ago to the Flyers, and it was turned away.
Right.
So again, I know he's from around that area, his Hart, but I would listen to offers for just about anybody.
Just in theory, I would just love to listen to what.
because
I mean, Keith Jones. I mean, you'd be like, Danny Briere can go. All right, I'll trade you Keith Jones. You want Keith Jones? Like, he should trade away. You want the front row seats? Take the front row seats. You want our Zamboni machine? Take the Zamboni
Right.
machine.
like
If it's right.
I think it's right. I mean, you know what? I would. I'm definitely all for it because something's got to change. Because what's been going on in that organization and in that building for the last 6, 7, 10 years is just not acceptable.
Right. I agree with you.
And
In and out of the playoffs, first round.
the only good thing is with Jonesy being a
In front.
commentator and being around the team and being around the organization, he knows what our expectations are as fans. Like he knows.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
knows what
I
our
agree.
And I think that's going to help them try to change the culture. But they know it's not a quick fix. And if you take notice, when they had their conversations, they said it flat out. It's not a quick fix, guys. This is not something we can just plug and do. I know Flyer fans ain't used to hearing this, but it is a rebuild. This isn't a retool.
Well, and that's what again, you and I like about the Flyers front office now. Guys like John Tortorella and now Danny Briere and Keith Jones.
And listen, we
They're
both killed Tortorella because we didn't like him.
Yeah.
But having him here and seeing, I guess, really kind of opening my. I seen him from afar. I didn't like him, I guess, from afar.
Right.
Now that he's here and you get to see what he's doing, I can admit that I was wrong about Tortorella.
Same.
You know what I mean? Because we were calling him blowhard and this and that, and then seeing he was the one guy I felt bad for last year. of anybody in that Flyers organization, the only person I felt bad for was John Tortorella because he had to coach this slop.
Coach it,
And I'm pretty sure my man had a bottle of freaking Pepto probably he probably had
Probably a bottle of something else.
he probably had a 55-gallon drum of Pepto Bismol. But I mean, I felt bad for the guy. I literally did. I was like, but again, I think he knew coming in, he saw what they had and he knew what direction it's got to go in. I just hope with them, I just hope that they don't do to him what the Sixers did to Brett Brown. And what I mean by that is when the team starts getting good and then needs to get over the hump, they get rid of him. Like I hope they let Tortorella
he kind
finish
of
it.
alluded to that in his initial, like one of his
Press conference. I know.
Yeah,
he said I may not be here when it's over, but I mean that's him being general, being realistic.
Or because what's he have, like a 5-year contract, 4-year
Yeah.
contract? He might know that this team might not be good for those years.
and it's going to be a long haul, and hopefully,
But getting back, Pat, to answer your question, I would definitely look into it. I would get back as much for him. A lot of teams are going to move from players this summer. Bruins, Lightning, Toronto, Edmonton. I'll tell you right now, one guy, I don't care. He could be 102. If he hits the free agent market, Bergeron. If Bergeron hits the free agent market, I want that dude here. There's your captain right there, Pierre Bergeron. If he hits it, that's one guy.
but where's Bergeron now? Is he in a win? I need a win now mode, or is he ready to?
That's the thing is I don't think honestly. Put all that
for-
aside, I would say go with youth. Go with youth. Go with guys you can work with. If you're going to go get anybody, because here's the thing: is you can keep
Taylor Hall. Would you go after Taylor Hall? Taylor Hall's still young enough. You got to remember
how young are we talking? Like
Taylor
under
Hall.
27, above 27. Like is that your?
I want to say
Where's your dividing line? At?
My dividing line, honestly, for hockey players is like 30. If they're under 30 years old, dude, they still got a lot. They got a lot of tread on them.
Right.
It's when they get on the opposite side of 30. That's when you got to start worrying about, like guys like our boy that they kept bringing back, the one that finally retired.
Which one? Vinny LeCavier?
No, not LeCavier. The one that I did a rant on. I get his name. Justin Braun.
Braun. Oh, okay.
Like him.
I'm like, I don't know where you're going with this.
Yeah.
It's just because I just remember Mike going off on him last year.
And the best part was we traded him. I was finally loving it. Incendio says you can have Hall and his 6.5 mil. I would take a shot at him.
But my thing is like I want youth and we go into youth movement, like guys that we maybe are good and have high upside for two reasons. A, they might be around when this team turns around. B, they'll have more value to us down the line. You have to think of that. Every move you make as the Flyers starting today and going into probably the next year or two has to be looking at the next 5 years.
And where are they drafting? 7 this year, right?
Yeah.
7. Is there a way, just hypothetically,
that they can move up?
Move up in a package deal?
Somebody's dumb enough to take it.
Sure. If someone would like to take Carter Hart and Travis Konecny in a package deal.
I don't know about Travis Konecny. If you put Carter Hart in something like that, I'll tell you right now, Chicago's looking to trade the number 1 pick.
Why? Who this year? Why is anybody looking to trade?
I don't know.
For the next Wayne Gretzky, accordingly, like
I don't know, but they're listening to offers. I mean, if you listen,
you got to listen to offers.
Yeah, listen to offers. But I mean, it sounds like that they would be if a right package came along, they would.
Again, do the Flyers have? Calm down. The right package. Like, what do you got to give up? You got to give up every first round pick you have for the next decade. You have to like.
Dude, this isn't like basketball. It's
I know.
It's not basketball. Like hockey draft picks, like you can get away with sending a star player and swapping draft picks. Give me 3-star players and that you would give up 3 from the Flyers plus Hart,
Konecny,
and
plus
Kevin Hayes
that you will flip from 1st to 7, and then you think they'd be willing to take
Hart, Konecny, Kevin Hayes.
And you think those 3 got
yes? They've already there's already been two different rumors already out there. Kevin Hayes and the number 7 pick going to Chicago for the number 1.
If he can pull that off, because everybody thinks off of Kevin Hayes right now. I think Kevin Hayes doesn't want to be here.
Yeah.
Well, Carter Hart, people will be upset about, like kind of like a Tyrese Maxey situation, but at the same time knows it's necessary because they're not in a win now mode.
Yeah, well,
and who was the other one? Travis Konechny?
Konechny.
Yeah. I mean, people like Konechny, but I don't think anybody's so in love with anybody. If they can pull that off, Danny Briere becomes the best GM in
No,
Flyers history.
no, we don't because, and then the reason why is
That if you're going to go get a generational
No
talent,
talent, yeah.
Stop with this because this is where you guys kill me. Yes, Bedard has been the whole thing that everybody's been thanking for. There is no guarantee he is going to be a generational talent. Look at Eric Lindros. What did Eric Lindros get us? I'll wait.
All right, but I mean, he was
No,
right.
no. Did he bring a cup here?
He got banged up. No.
No. All we got was him getting knocked out by Scott Stevens
Right,
and then being put on a
Why do you
Snickers
keep
meme.
bringing that up?
But hold on. Let me just
Don't bring that up
let me back the
anymore.
truck up right now. I know what you're saying, that it's not guaranteed in any which way. That if it was guaranteed, you wouldn't even think about trading that first round pick.
Right.
But I'm saying for a team in the Flyers situation, it's perfect. Think about it.
Yes.
Hold on. You have Bednard, who is right now on paper generational. Could be,
Yes.
the next Crosby or whatever. You're the next guy that the NHL follows, like the darling. All right. This team needs that. You put a magnet in this team because right now we're propelling people from wanting to come here.
And that shortens up your rebuild from 6 years
It could
to
make a
2.
world of a difference.
Yes, you guys are right. I agree with you there. But what I'm saying is, like, I'm just doing devil's advocate because we've had this before with other talents. Like, remember, like, this is the same Flyers organization that took Mike Ricci instead of taking Jaromir Jagr.
Again, but in this case, all right,
Yes.
and I go back to the times that I roasted Howie Roseman, okay? What did we say to Howie Roseman? Take the best guy available. When you do that and it doesn't work out, that's not on the GM at that point. That's on the coaching and the development of this player. But if you go out there and the guy has no clear signs of being a problem, like say, like kind of like Jalen Carter, all right? You took Jalen Carter. He is probably would have been number 1, number 2 overall if it wasn't for his off the field issues, right? So you rolled the dice on that. Nobody would be upset about that. You took Devontae Smith. If he didn't work out, nobody would be mad at Howie about that. You took the Heisman winning wide receiver right there. You can't be upset about that. That's my point. If you go out and get the best guy available who's supposed to be a generational talent, supposed to be, you can't be upset about that.
No,
You can't look back and go, well, Danny Briere's a gosh darn moron over here.
because
No,
the minute if it does happen,
we're all
okay.
going to be
Right, he's a
excited.
genius.
We're all excited at the end
Yeah,
of it
right.
because we're not just blind, stupid fans. It's then on that point, it's either Connor Bednard had some like a Carson Wentz mental deficiency or something, or
Right.
but everything in this guy in the camp of Bednard is pointing to there's a lot of green check marks and no red X's as far as I've seen.
Yeah.
And I won't be here and tell you that I sat here and studied this guy so far, but from what I've read and what I've seen, I haven't seen any knocks really against this
No,
kid.
that's why I would like you want if this is the draft where you could get a guy like him. I don't know who's the second coming to them in this draft, but if you get
There's a couple guys in the top first 3
I
or
mean,
4 that
again,
are pretty good players
pretty
too.
good. I mean, look, the package deal is there for you. You get Travis Konechny, who had 61 points. You get Carhart, right? You can move on from Joel Farabee. Yeah, a nice young promising talent. You get some key pieces. Maybe you move on from Morgan Frost. Nobody's, tangible here. Everyone's on the board. Everyone's on the table. You get your best pieces available. Get the youth what they want to see, and then you push it up. And look, again, like I said, this shortens up that rebuild motive.
It
where you have
does,
six, seven out.
most likely.
On
likely,
paper,
yeah.
But and look, and like you say, if in 2 years the guy turns out to be a dud, you can't be mad at the fact that you wanted to do you want for a reach. Again, you kind of have to go all in with the chips right now.
And that's the other thing is this team is in that situation where you can gamble. You got nothing to lose. What are you going to lose? You're going to
Right.
be crappy again? Well, that won't shock anybody.
Right.
I mean, you've got nothing to lose in this situation. You really don't. You're losing Travis Konechny, who's not going to be here for the future. You're losing Carter Hart, he's young enough to be, but most likely won't be. And then you're losing Kevin Hayes, who probably doesn't want to be here because him and the coach, he doesn't like being coached the way that Torts was coaching him. It's obvious.
Right. And then
So if those three go and you just got flopped 1 and 7, hells to the yes. That's a great trade.
and look, you already shown some promise in with the Miners when they came up here. Same Arison, who played great in January, when they won that Western, West Coast trip, and he looked really sharp back at home. You had Tyler Foster, who was shocking the Flyers world, who was putting on some nice points. Again, you have some key pieces in your system. Move on from these guys. There's, like you said, it's
No,
a
I'm not
win-win.
moving on from Morgan Frost. Like Morgan Frost, I feel not only paid his time down in the minors, like the dude deserves to be
Would
here.
you give Morgan Frost in that trade on top of everything else?
No, I would give Joel Farabee.
You tell me Morgan Frost is off the.
Yeah.
I think
Morgan Frost is a guy you can build around.
I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with that fact. But if it's going to get you that number one,
No,
I'd be willing.
Listen,
Yeah.
no, listen.
Yeah.
See, this is where I will disagree with both of you. I'm not selling the farm to bring in one player. They
I'm
did
not
this
selling the
before.
farm, but
yeah, you kind of are because you're giving
is
up.
Morgan Frost our only piece on the farm?
No.
Then we're
Well,
in
it's
trouble.
not.
He's
It's
not
not
the only chicken you can choke here.
true, but sometimes. Wow, you made out. You got him. You got him. Oh.
Yeah, that will be clipped out later. I'll be
Yes,
honest
it
with
will.
you.
Oh,
For the
wow.
love of God. Sunday morning, Pat. Holy day, man. Holy day. Holy shit is the answer to that one. There you go.
Oh, I think.
Choking chickens on farms here.
Oh, every now and then Pat comes up with a good one.
Five-
Holy cow!
Jesus, that's one of the reasons Pat was fired from the farm.
Woo.
Just say what I was doing with the other animals.
They're wondering why they're leading the sheep to the cliff.
Okay,
I was
this just went down a dark road that I don't want to be on. I hear a banjo playing somewhere. I was mad at Lindros trade at the time, not because of the Forbes, but because we already had a nice foundation on which to build. Yeah, I was kind of.
I like to see like a 30-on-30. Like, what if we didn't give up Forsberg? Like, what if we would have took Forsberg instead of
You would have had
Lindros?
Forsberg. You would have had Chris Simon. You
Yeah,
would have had.
I would love to see that. Like, what
Like
if?
it's like no, like I remember them doing like a reverse thing.
Yeah, but and also that Lindros situation was very unique.
Yeah, he only wanted to come to New York or Philadelphia.
Right.
And then not even just that, like the way it all went down when they made the pick and it wasn't their pick, and it was really weird. Like, and then you had to trade things. It got weird.
The Flyers gave up a
They
boatload.
did. They
Like,
did.
listen, that's
And
why.
are you? That's what you're afraid of?
Yes, if you look at what the Flyers gave up, okay, in that Lindros trade, that basically was the backbone of the the Quebec Nordiques / Colorado Avalanche's push to the title. Insanio says, "I'm going to church after this." I don't blame you.
I'm gonna soak myself
something
in some
holy
holy
water.
water, man. Might burn a little bit, but all right.
Well, but look, Mike, I hear you. But on the flip side, though, look, we haven't had a superstar since Lindros, though. We haven't had one.
And it's not even just that. Like, I really don't feel like. All right, fine. Morgan Frost shouldn't be off the table, but I'm not saying give him 6 players and flip picks. That would be ridiculous. But I'm saying is the 3 you first named. Where's there a loss in any of that? Really, to be honest with you, like there's really not a loss because those guys aren't the future of this Flyers. None of those first 3 you named.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's why you can
But-
offer them
But
like that. That is
one future player outdoes everything. Now, if you're sitting there and you're taking Morgan Frost and they want Joel Farabee and they want one of our other goalies, they want like 8 guys, then yeah, okay, it's just outrageous.
right. That's
Then you're selling the farm at that point. But if you're telling me that the tipping point between that trade is a Morgan Frost versus no Morgan Frost.
Oh well, no. Like I all right. What I'm saying to you is like I don't want it to be like the Lindros trade was, like where it was a boatload of everything, going one way, and we were just getting one player back.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm sorry, those days to me are behind and really kind of outdated in the NHL.
Yeah.
Now, if it takes more, but guess what? Chicago is flipping. They're sending somebody back. You know what I mean? Like this is where you got to be a good negotiator.
Yeah.
Like it can't all be one way.
No,
Okay,
no,
you got the
yeah.
number one pick, but
You probably take somebody on a older guy on a
Or on the-
contract.
right,
that they wanna,
right,
they were trying
exactly.
to really, yeah,
right,
no.
I would do
There's more to it than just one
yeah,
for
so-
six.
If that, but
Right.
if it's a Morgan Frost tipping that to come over, then yeah, unfortunately, yeah, you got to go and make that. You got to make that trade.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying to you is, like, I'm not doing like me and Pat were just talking about. I'm not doing trades just because you have the number one overall pick. I'm not doing like a Flyers because the Flyers legitly just they helped the Colorado Avalanche win 2 Stanley Cups.
So you're-
Because of the play. No, you go back and do the
Yeah,
research on that. That trade, that Lindros trade, propelled them because they got so many good players
in return,
in return. They got Steve Duchesne, who captained their defense for years. A couple picks. One of the picks ended up being Adam Deadmarsh, okay, which was a Flyers pick. Chris Simon, who was a great protector and enforcer. Nobody messed with Chris Simon. Was one of the baddest dudes in the NHL.
right?
He did. Forsberg, who we had, what did he end up becoming? There was was it Valerie Kaminsky who would end up being which was a Flyers trade, which was one of the Flyers that they traded away. If you go back and look at that, you look at that like draft and what all the capital that the Flyers sent over for Lindros. That's why I say
So you can think this-
never again would I ever do something like that. I don't care how generational their marquee is. Eric Lindros was the next Mario
So this-
Lemieux, and
right?
he got to a cup.
right.
One.
So and that's what you're afraid of. This
Oh,
could
yeah.
be a 92.
Forgot
all
about
over
him
again.
too. Jocelyn Thibault, another backup. He was Patrick Watt's backup, who ended up having a great
Season,
Career.
great year career. So again, that's what you're afraid of. This could turn out to be 92. This could be a whole. But I don't know.
I don't think it's that. I mean, I was being.
I understand what
fucking
you're
into it,
but
but I think you're gonna you're gonna get a player or two to help. It helps them get a guy off their
books.
books that maybe is a year or two left, and they're gonna bring in those pieces. I mean that. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Would you guys take a flyer on Jonathan Taves this offseason?
How old is he now?
26.
No,
Yeah,
he's
I'd take that.
got to be older than
Is
that.
he?
Right? I gotta say he's got to be
Hold on.
close to 30. If he's under the 30 market,
If he's under the 30 market, would you take him? Even at 30, would you take him for a year?
again, I'm just saying, I just want to see this team play. If he's looking to win now and all that stuff, if he's just looking to get paid, it depends what he wants to do. If he wants to just get paid,
Dude, listen, I didn't ask all that. If you had an opportunity to sign Jonathan Taves, would you sign him? Not about what he's looking for. If he's right there, put a contract in front of him.
I
sign.
just gotta know what I'm doing in this direction. If we're looking to bounce back sooner around, if we get the Con Bernard thing going, then yeah. If we get the Con
I
Bernard
spelled his last name. For some reason, it's not coming up for me.
Taves,
Yeah.
Towyes.
Yeah. That's why. Why is that not coming? There it is. He's like 35.
Is he really? Wow.
Yeah, I know.
He had a baby face, dude. Like I thought he was like when you look at him, like, you don't look.
Is
He's
he like talking
he
about
does-
retiring or something?
Yeah, right. He needs
I don't know, maybe I don't know.
He's 35 years old.
right. Like again, he's got.
Well, I
that
wonder
big-
how old Pierre Bergeron is then.
Yeah, those guys
'Cause
are.
if Taves is 35, Bergeron's like 40. But I would still take him. I would
Right.
still take him right now.
That's like I said. If you're looking to short up that rebuild mode, then yeah, you know what I mean. Look, they might need that veteran.
I mean,
presence
dude,
in
there's a
locker
lot of people my buddy Insanio said. There's a lot of guys. Toronto's losing a lot of people.
Oh,
free
man.
agent.
You want to talk about a team that I want to expect Carolina to start.
Carolina's in a good spot, man.
Carolina.
Bergeron's 37.
Okay, so I said I know he had.
Yeah,
I would sign him, and I've been saying it for the last 2 years. I'm going to continue to say it to the Flyers. Sign him and actually bring his ass here. The dude is still productive. At his age, he's still productive. He's a good centerman, and he'd be a great captain for the Flyers.
Right. So we'll see. Look, Mike. We just scout. Again, we.
Oh,
dissect-
another guy, Charlie McAvoy, defense.
Yeah, I like
Charlie McAvoy.
He's a good player.
Get him here.
All right, Mike. One more. We scout out the Flyers,
Yeah,
but
he's
again,
only 25.
the team I do feel
McAvoy.
the team I do feel good about are the Eagles. And now, I again, me, I listen to just about everyone on this podcast on this network. At the Edge of Philly Sports. I feel like I was listening to our man Shame. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I don't want to butcher it because I butcher my own last name going out in public. So, that the dude Shane along with Dives, he's really really good. He said he's kind of
Shane Half?
Shane Half. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I said, I could butcher that. You
Yeah.
know, matter of minutes.
It's like
So-
half, but without the L.
Yeah, Huff. So, Huff. Now, how do you say that in Dutch?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. So
Get to the
anyway,
point. Come on, man. It's like he's having a squirrel moment over there. Like squirrel.
Hey, we're doing a show. Hold on.
Oh,
Bring him back. Bring him back.
yes.
Talk about this guy's last name for a second, and I'm waiting on the. All right, so all right, where are we getting at with this bird talk?
Yeah. Well,
Anyway, this guy's last name squirrel.
Mike, would you hold on when I talk about birds? Jesus. So,
Hold on, birds. Wow, you need a cleansing, dude.
but look, Mike, he brought up the point that he's afraid that Jalen Hurts might not have the year they had from last year, and he might regress. What's your take on that?
He might. I mean, listen, it's possible. Defenses, defensive coordinators get paid too. They're going to find out what he did well. They're going to try and take it away. I mean,
That's why it's the.
that's why the Eagles. I mean, the one thing the Eagles had better this year than they had a year ago is they got backs out of the backfield who can catch the ball
Yeah, right. And block.
and block. Like DeAndre Swift is nasty at picking up blocks. So is Rashard Penny.
Mm-hmm.
So, little question for you guys. June sound like Zach Ertz might be getting cut. You bring him back? You bring him back as Dallas Goedert's number
yeah,
2?
you know what? I mean, as long as he knows he's number 2. How old is Zach Ertz now? I mean,
He's over 30.
oh, I know that. That's my question. Like, is he going to be productive at this point? He's 32.
Yeah, I think he'd be really good.
No, listen, I think he'd be the happiest boy in the world. I think you'll see a resurgence of him a little bit. I don't know. I mean, as long as he becomes shorthand Zach, we know he's no yak Zach. He's always been that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd take a flyer on him depending on what the price is.
Yeah, another thing too. There's been talk that Howie's not done yet. A couple names.
He says that all the time.
Well, no. This has been stuff I've been kind of keeping an eye out. Ngakoue,
Mm-hmm.
looking like he's politicking to be an Eagle
Again.
Yeah. He's looking. They're kind of keeping an eye on his situation. Keep an eye on the Buda Baker situation too. Like that hasn't
I
gone
think
away.
Buda Baker maybe have the most tread on that tire right now.
Yeah. There was somebody else that I was watching. I was watching another podcaster actually, and they were talking about it. There was 4 of them. Oh, the guy from Tennessee, Bird or by or
Oh yeah, the
other safety.
linebacker.
No,
the
safety.
safety. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I take him in a heartbeat. But
Yeah,
it
so
probably,
would
it probably costs way too much.
No, they're talking about cutting them.
Yeah, but because he wants more money.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I mean, you have a guy.
Kevin Bird, I think it is.
Yeah, Baird
Or Baird,
or something
yeah,
like that. I forget how you say it, but the problem is if he wants to, he probably want money.
Everybody wants money. I mean, God, and there's still a couple decent safeties that are still out there too that are free agents that haven't signed with anybody yet. One of them is Keanu Neal, formerly of the Falcons and Cowboys. He's out there, so
The former Cowboy thing really. It's always thing that scares me sometimes.
sometimes you get a bad one. Sometimes,
Yeah.
listen, there's a couple times they took a couple Eagles, man, that kind of.
It doesn't seem to work that way. Was it who was the Eagle that was here for? I'm trying to remember. And then he went to the Cowboys for like 2 games and said, "I can't do this."
Howard Carmichael.
Is it Howard Carmichael? Yeah,
Carmichael did that. Yeah.
Carmichael. Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, he did that. But I mean, look at all the greats. I mean, Tommy McDonald finished his career as a Cowboy. Not too many people know that. So the best thing was funny though. I heard kind of a Bill Berge story that when he was a free agent and he was getting ready, he was a free agent. He could sign with any team. The Cowboys made him an offer, and he said that's when he knew it was time for him to retire. And he retired. He retired rather than go play for the Cowboys. So
Good man.
But no, Pat. Looking at this team, number one, I got them going 13-4 this year, even with this hard schedule.
13-4. Wow.
I really do because I don't. And I feel like if you look at it, I feel like the only team that the Eagles kind of own the Giants. So I'm looking at probably worst case scenario is a split. Worst case scenario, they go 3-3 in the division. Worst case scenario.
Okay. Okay.
I listen. The answer to the original question is, do I think Jalen Hurts takes a step back? And my simple answer is no. What makes us think in any which way that this him himself? Now, if the Nick Sirianni and the offense take a step back because they don't make changes because like Mike said, people know they got tape on him now. So you got to do different things. So they
Right.
did that. They got two guys at running back who, one healthy,
Are
are
nasty.
top of the tier running backs. So if you get a half a season out of each one, you got a full season on two nasty, and we still are just paying them less than our last year running back, who's getting paid more than all of our running backs put together.
Right.
So my point is, our O line I feel is going to be better than ever. I mean, people I know are a little weird about the right guard situation. I'm not.
I'm not either. Stoutland will have that fixed.
Somebody will fill it in and it'll be fine. Our wide receivers going to get better. I mean, maybe they bring in D Hop. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Are you buying that?
I'm
Do you
not-
really think
not
D Hop's
buying
going to come in here?
Not buying
I
it.
don't buy it either.
As
I
long as
think
he's not in the division, I'm okay.
I think he's going to. I think he's going to Cleveland.
The Cowboys came out and said they're not looking to sign him.
Yeah.
McCarthy said that,
Yeah.
which either it's a smokescreen, but I would be surprised. They'd
Look
be
out for
they'd be one of the first teams I'd be like,
listen.
oh yeah, they want him.
Listen, don't be surprised you see DeAndre Hopkins end up in New England.
I'm saying New York. I think it's New York.
Jets or Giants?
That's a good question. I didn't say what team. I just said he's going to be in New York one way.
Need a wide receiver.
If I'm Daybold and I'm looking, how did Jalen Hurts get better? Oh, they put a lot of good weapons around him. Well, we were stuck with Daniel Jones, who can I just still put out that he's making more? He's a bigger cap hit all 4 years than Jalen Hurts is for the next 4 years. I love that.
Right.
But
Thank you.
thank you. I can see them putting that together if they can afford it and giving him that weapon.
Yeah, and like I said, I didn't catch the full episode back to the question with Shane, but what if it's what if he does regress because Shane Steichen's not there?
He's the one I feel less worried about
No?
with that because the guy that worked with him and Shane. He was the QB coach. You don't think they worked hand in hand?
And then it's not like Brian Johnson was an offensive coordinator, dude.
Yeah.
He was an offensive coordinator at the University of Florida. So like,
I mean, listen, the possibilities there. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that there's no possibility. The kind of character that we've seen from Jalen makes me not worry about that. The kind of abilities we've seen from Nick Sirianni makes me not worry about that. And all the weapons they continue to put around him makes me not worry about that. Unless Brian Johnson just wakes up one day and like loses any ability to coach, then I'll be worried.
So last question before we get out of it. So you're if you look at it from a site, right? So we got the Flyers rebuilding. We don't expect anything from them
right
next
now
year.
you're looking at it. It's the Eagles, the Phillies, the Sixers.
I think it would be the other way.
No.
As far as Eagles, Sixers, Phillies, and Flyers, and that as a powerhouse.
There's my boy. That's my boy Mike. Cowboys fan. Great dude. Great dude.
Pay that rent.
Yeah. Hey, that rent. I think actually, believe it or not, listen, I'm going to give Zach. I'm going to actually give Dallas their credit. I think they're the second best team in the NFC.
Who, Dallas?
Yes, I truly believe that. I think they are.
Hold
With
on,
that defense,
hold on. Let me think about this. I can see that.
they're better than San Francisco. I'm not trying
listen,
to hear
I'm
that.
not buying the San. I think if anybody takes a step back, it's
San Francisco.
You got no quarterback.
Yep.
Who's your quarterback?
I'll tell you right now.
You got nothing.
I think
and you lost D'Amico Ryan. Talk about losing a coach that makes a difference.
Yep.
That will make a difference.
I think it's the Eagles, and I think right behind the Eagles is the Cowboys, and then right up behind them, believe it or not, I'm going to go with Seattle. I think Seattle takes a huge step forward this year. I think they win that division. To be honest with you, Steve says, my worry is that there are potentially many more experienced football minds. I mean, you can't, I don't know about that, Steve, just because, it's not like Sirianni's not experienced now. He's going into his third season. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
I mean, he got to
we'll
a
see.
Super Bowl. Like, he's
We'll
pretty
see.
experienced.
We'll see on that one. Guys, remind you that this show is brought to you
Yes.
by David Arteri, CharityInjuryLaw.com, 610-565-0300. Or go to Sherry'sTickets.com and pick up your tickets for your next game, concert, theater event, you name it. No hidden fees and 10% off using that promo code EOP10. And sign up, if you want to talk Eagles, sign up for that first road trip to New England, September 8th to the 11th.
Philadelphia Eagle fans of Boston. Oh, that ought to be good.
Oh yeah, that's a local fan partnership. They're going to be all there. I'm sure it's going to make it crazy.
I wonder if they talk. Do they roll their R's too?
I'm sure they do. And don't forget, if you want to get one a little sooner, you want to go up to historic Wrigley Field, June 28th, PhillySportTrips.com. Check it out. And
Yeah. So, Mike, before we get out of here, Florida, in both series, NHL Stanley Cup and NBA Stanley Cup, down by 1. Do you still have Florida walking out, or do you think they're going to?
Well, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. You gave me a little too much credit last week. My finals were Dallas and Carolina. That was my finals, but the Stars winning it all. But I did say watch out for the Panthers because they are hot. I think the Panthers are going to. I think that's going to go 7.
Right.
Unfortunately, I think Vegas is probably the better team. I'll be hoping that they're not. I'll be rooting for Florida. Now, as far as the NBA goes, I'm pulling for Jimmy Buckets. I don't like Jokic. I don't care. There's Denver never deserves a parade. As far as I'm concerned, never.
No, Miles City.
Like, who wants to go to a parade in a town that has very little high?
Mike, I'll go parade anywhere, pal.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I'm not touching it, man. Stay waiting for that one.
There's a parade happening down Center City waiting, but you're the lead dog in that one.
I got a unicycle.
Yep.
But anyway, but yeah, for me, I'm with you as far as I'm kind of rooting for South Beach. I definitely like to see Florida Panthers take it. They're down 1 right now. Like I said, I think they're going to answer back. Starting tomorrow night, I think they're going to come back swinging. I got to be honest. Like, my favorite player to watch right now in the whole series is Anthony Blair. I just like his quickness, his finesse. I liked when he was on with with the Columbus Blue Jackets, and for him and Sam
Rob Efner, saying Vegas in 6.
Well, Vegas
Rob. You want to talk about a guy with his pants down? You want to talk about a guy with his pants down? But Rob. But
Rob, I apologize.
Rob, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Hey, Rob, like, you want to talk about this guy?
Yes, I know.
What's it like? 7 in the morning where he's at right there? You just made that dude spit out his coffee and egg shooting out his nose now because you had to talk about pants around the ankles.
What's up?
But I'm saying now, Vegas. I would like to see Vegas in this one.
Can you imagine
Really?
now, dude? Listen, I would love to see the
Who cares
parade.
about Florida?
I want to see the parade because that's going to be extravagant.
Yeah,
all heck. Out in Vegas, what? Poor
Yeah.
Giroux. Florida makes it the year after he leaves.
Good point. Yeah, they still got Gudis. Say it, doggy.
Life with Zilla. I know that's my buddy Bo. I think so. Anyway.
So anyway,
it's somebody that knows me.
but if Denver wins this, man, what a slap to the face it's going to be.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. He played in a weaker conference. Shut up. Can we get to the food and let this guy go?
You want to get to the meat?
Yes, get to the meat because you're itching to throw it down your throat.
Yes, I am.
Say, look, he's already got the meat sweats going.
What do we got here? So today it's Sunday. It's Pasta Sunday. What's the home format going to make today? I think she's going to do some. I think she wants to do some raviolis. I believe.
He's been on a pasta kick lately. I've
Oh
noticed
yeah, it's Sunday.
See, it's the whole Italian thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that.
So are you going to put meat inside the raviolis, or are you going to put this cheese?
Dude, she made a cheesesteak pizza
Dude.
yesterday.
Oh wow.
A homemade cheese?
She made from scratch cheesesteak pizza.
You're a lucky man there.
Oh,
Well, she must love you.
you should see
I don't
that
know what I'm
girl.
doing yet today.
That or she just likes when he talks, so she just keeps feeding him. So
Yeah.
Who shuts up, man?
Yeah.
Here, go
And it
away.
puts me to sleep.
There you go.
Mouth wide open puts me to sleep.
I don't know what I'm doing
Take
yet.
a full
I haven't
advantage.
decided. I
I
don't know.
will I'll be traveling around the county a little bit. I got a little Delco Day stuff to get together, so I'll be taking in some Delco cuisine.
Is that today?
No. Next Saturday, I just got some stuff to take care of. As well as my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Ma!
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Mrs.
Ma.
So there'll be ice cream cake for her because that's all she ever wants. So.
She's the best.
Mom is the best.
Well,
and
guys,
and the only person in the world I fear.
Yes. Well, look, for our show, PM and the AM show, this has been great. But guys, stay tuned at 9 o'clock tonight because you have all lacrosse all the time talking about the NL finals.
yes, what is it?
Buffalo and Colorado.
Was it double G, double S, double
G,
M?
double S, double yeah.
Make sure you tune into them guys. They
I
take
got
care.
double vision.
And there's going to be a post game show today.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
Phillies finals. Who's on
Titans.
the
Fighting's final.
Phillies finals?
Jesus. Oh, he doesn't know the name.
He's,
Oh,
he's no. Guys,
Oh, I am not.
for myself, Bernard, and the big guy Al, we're out of here.